between you and me, right where you are right in this moment, is exactly where you were meant to be.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Welcome to the Joygasmic Life Podcast. I am your hostess, Elena Harder. This is a mini episode designed to give you a taste of what is available in our larger full interviews, as well as what we get into in the deeper version of our membership, where we have full video, bonus courses with our interviewees, and of course our weekly calls where we support each other mom to mom. We'd love to have you as part of the Joygasmic Life. Yeah.
And it was just a big release.
Yeah, beautiful.
And so I had four births later. The second birth, I was preparing just as I was preparing the first time. But this time I did some more reading. I was reading, there were different authors on hypnobirthing, and I was trying different things out. But I was also using my intuition to connect with my inner guide.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked myself, I said, I know my first birth, I know how it felt, how intense the sensations were, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I asked myself, and so I wanted to deprogram the perception of pain, but I wanted to replace it. So I asked myself, what is intense, but something I would invite that is pleasurable? Ding, ding, ding. Orgasm. I had never heard of orgasmic birth, right? I did the video, was not out, right? And I was like, okay. So, and I didn't share this with my birthing coach. I just, whenever we practice, because we, in the meditation, we practice going through the stages of birthing. And when I was going through the stages of working with the sensations, right? I transposed pain, or I transmuted pain into pleasure.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
That's what I programmed myself for that birth.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, I was in that birthing, dancing and moving and woo! It was just like, they might have suspected, they knew I was having a good time. They might have suspected I had an orgasm, but I didn't say it, but that's what I was experiencing.
I love it. Oh.
Now, and I would say not all of my births after that were orgasmic. I didn't feel the need after that one. The next one was I had a very peaceful, it was just uneventful birth. My third birth. My fourth birth was very joyful. It was a very joyful water birth. I loved that experience. It was home birth. That was my favorite birthing experience, in the sense of the environment that I chose.
Mm-hmm.
That one is an amazing story. And I'll save that for later. But that leads us to Fatima. So Fatima, I'll let you take it from there.
Wow. Yes, so
and before you go, and intermittently throughout those years, I have worked, I was working as a birthing coach, and for some as a doula, with other women who wanted to have similar experiences, birth experiences.
Beautiful. And Fatima, just before you jump in, I just want to acknowledge Kaheri was this is 90s. So it's like, this came into my consciousness like 5 years ago, right? So I just want to point out that women have been doing and talking and working with this energy of transmuting birth. It was spontaneous, your own idea of hey, there's intensity here. I got to transmute that. What else is equally intense? It's pleasure is equally intense. Let's work with that, right? And it's so beautiful to see that, because that's a conclusion I came to on my own as well. It's a conclusion you came to on your own. It's not rocket science. It's just this is how bodies work. Let's work with the intensity of the energy in a way that we can transmute. And it's beautiful to hear that, your second birth was really orgasmic, but then after that, having experienced that, you weren't necessarily seeking or working with that so intensely, because you weren't dealing with the like the pain, the freak out, the the challenge of birth. You were then in a place where you could be more trusting and let whatever was going to happen unfold, because you'd already sort of rewired your whole body for this like much more pleasurable experience.
So much more for you over in the Joygasmic Life membership. Become a bulletproof mom with us. Learn the tips and tricks and skills you need to recover from your postpartum mental health journey, and learn the tools of Joygasmic alchemy so you can have the kind of birth you've been dreaming of.